What's up, fam? It's Sleepy of Sleepy's Planet, and today we are going to be talking about my favorite game in the entire world, Monster Hunter. We're going to be learning about Malzeno, and his vampiric curse. I love Malzeno. He is my second favorite monster in Rise, with my first favorite being Mizutsune, who is my favorite femboy. Uh, but yeah, we're just gonna see what this guy's got to say about the lore. Monster Hunter, I'm gonna be so fucking for real with you, my dudes. Monster Hunter is not exactly very like lore deep, in my opinion. Um, but maybe I'm just not paying enough attention. So let's find out.
Today, we dive into the haunting tale of Malzeno, a once noble knight whose quest to defend his kingdom led him down a dark path. In a fateful moment, he made an unavoidable deal with the devil, gaining immense power but losing his sanity. This curse not only transformed him, but also set him against humanity, the very ecosystem he once sought to protect. In the events of Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, we meet Malzeno, a brand new elder dragon intricately inspired by the legendary figure of Dracula. But before we delve into this connection, let's explore the curio, swarming leeches or bats that siphon the life force from monsters, ultimately returning it to their master, Malzeno. When a monster becomes afflicted by the curio, it descends into madness. Their abilities are heightened, but at a devastating cost.
Okay, this has absolutely nothing to do with this video, but I have a ton of tattoos, and I have very heavily considered getting curio tattooed on me just as gap filler, because when you have a bunch of tattoos and you got them maybe at like different times in your life, they are not it's like playing Tetris. You have to like try to put them all together. And so I've got some spaces, and if I ever get into a position where I've got some extra money again, I do think that I would probably get some curios, some gap filler, and this reminded me of that.
A drastically shortened lifespan. Regular
I
monsters
currently do
under
not
this
have any
curse
Monster Hunter
can reach
tattoos.
Elder Dragon levels.
Actually, why not? I'll just chat shit with you guys for a second. So, okay, so I have a bunch of nerd tattoos, but no Monster Hunter tattoos. I really want to get a femboy Gijinka Mizutsune tattoo on my thigh, but currently my nerdy tattoos are I've got the Crystal Castle from She-Ra. I've got a Hu Tao tattoo from Genshin. I have a what do I have? Let me look at my leg. I have a Gilgamesh tattoo from Fate. I have a Bakugo tattoo from My Hero Academia. I have a Sakuna tattoo from Jujutsu Kaisen. I have an Artemis tattoo from Sailor Moon. I have a Shinobu tattoo from Demon Slayer, and I have a Rebel Alliance tattoo from Star Wars. And those, I have more tattoos than that, but those are all my nerdy tattoos and shit. I'd like to get more tattoos, they're just hella expensive now. So I maybe get one a year, maybe one every other year at this point. But yeah, I really want to get these curios. It's like gap filler.
Of power, so I'm sure you can only imagine the terror of an afflicted Elder Dragon. Unlike these typical monsters, Elder Dragons are able to overcome the curse and become risen, reaching even greater heights of power. This scenario creates a relentless war of attrition, where the Curio often triumph, but those that survive the ordeal gain significant strength. A century before the events of Sunbreak, the Curio ravaged the land, even attempting to infect humans, an endeavour that led to a devastating plague. Amidst the chaos, both humans and monsters evacuated the area, except for two, Malzeno and Geismagorn, who fought for their control over the region. When all fighting came to an end, Malzeno emerged victorious, claiming a now desolate citadel as his domain. Fast forwarding to present day, as hunters, it's our duty to confront this vampiric tyrant. But when we defeat Malzeno, something strange happens. The Curio begin to flee, echoing the behaviour we see when we vanquish afflicted regular monsters. The leeches appear to be returning to its host, but we thought Malzeno was the host. We track these creatures and eventually pinpoint the location of their voyage, and something truly demonic awakens at the heart of this final destination. Geismagorn is discovered to be the true host, the
Yeah.
originator of the curio. And might I add, what an incredible monster this is from a design perspective. He's constantly referred to as
It's
a
fucking
demon, and he truly
weird.
lives up to that moniker. Flames will emerge from his back as if he's truly born from hellfire. Despite this terrifying appearance, the protagonists are able to defeat the monster, but we're still left with so many questions. Geismagorn is the true puppet master in this saga. Why was Malzeno able to wield the power as his own? It's not like he was afflicted, as he was the one commanding Curio opposed to being plagued by them. Equally, unlike other Elder Dragons, Malzeno hadn't overcome the affliction, as he would have become risen in this case. We finally got the answers to these questions in the final title update of Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. A new variant of Malzeno appears in the Citadel, this time clad in silver and gold armour with royal blue accents. As we confront him, we notice the Curio swarm back, seemingly trying to afflict him. Curiously, he struggles against their influence, revealing a side of Malzeno we hadn't seen in the past. As we battle, we inadvertently fight off the Curio on behalf of him, leaving him exhausted in the process.
We like strip
In
the
a poignant
curio from him,
twist,
basically.
we discover that Malzeno was not the villain we thought he was. Instead,
It's a really
he was a
sad
noble
story,
protector,
actually.
scarred by the horrors of war. It was never Malzeno who unleashed the afflicted monsters and plague upon humanity. It was Geismagorn. Malzeno was fighting valiantly to defend his home against his archdemon, ultimately forcing his enemy
Malzeno
to
was the
retreat
victim.
underground. The Citadel was destroyed in collateral. However, Geismagorn during his departure afflicted Primordial Malzeno with a very small quantity of curio. This manageable dose allowed Primordial Malzeno to develop a resistance to their influence, and eventually gain control over them. As time passed, Primordial underwent different evolutions to adapt to this newfound power, resulting in it becoming the standard Malzeno we know from Sunbreak's story, almost as if evolution allowed for a symbiotic relationship to form. With this newborn vampire now in control of the curio, this delayed them from feeding power back to Geismagorn, the original host, and left him dormant underground. That was until we took Malzeno down as discussed earlier. In a sense,
Yeah, because
even
the
during
arena
this
is
broken state of
multi-platform.
insanity, in a strange way, Malzeno had still been
If I
continuing
remember.
to hold back the true source of evil by becoming a lesser evil in his stead. In the final stages
Oh
of our
wait,
battle
no.
with Primordial,
This is the fight where you have the there's like cannons or something and you have to shoot at the bursts of curio. There's like these balls of curio and you have to shoot the balls out of the air.
we realised that this was the case. As such, we help him deal with the local threat of curio surrounding him, concluding with him seemingly acknowledging us as warriors before heading off elsewhere, likely seeking to end this bloody war for good. As I mentioned, as you may already be able to gather yourself, this saga draws striking parallels to the tales of Dracula, the story of which a human is granted demonic power by making a deal with the devil. Whilst in this instance, the human, being Malzeno, refused the devil's power, the resemblance between stories and its influence is striking to say the least. Malzeno's vampiric design stands for itself from a visual perspective, but there are some cool intricate little details that I'd like to acknowledge. One of my favourites is how Primordial Malzeno seems to be donned in silver-plated armour. If you didn't know, silver is famously known to be a vampire's weakness. However, regular Malzeno,
I didn't even think
the
about
vampire,
that.
seems to lose more of this silver coloration, but still clings to the gold accents, as if
Yeah, I
his
didn't
sense
even
of
think about
wealth or
that.
personal pride still stand. One of the other more noticeable colour changes are of course his wings. They transition
Yeah.
from royal blue, a very regal colour, to the more rugged, battle-tested red wings that to me resemble a vampire's cape. We then of course have the resemblance to Fiorane. She is the most impacted story-wise related to Malzeno.
Fiorane
She
was my
clings on to
waifu
the
in
brutal
Rise.
past and the devastation it caused to not only her personal life but the kingdom at large. Very fittingly, she
Bitch
wields
is
a sword and
sexy.
shield, much like how Primordial Malzeno utilises his wings almost as if they are a sword and shield himself. However, what's interesting to note is that Fiorane's colour scheme actually mimics regular Malzeno, almost as if she's lost herself in her own emotional attachment and anger during this war. She's ultimately lost herself, and it isn't until this final battle with the original protector that she realigns and realises her true value in the world. It isn't to put Primordial to rest, it's to realise the true origin of evil, remove her emotional attachment from Malzeno itself, and understand that he himself was a victim. By concentrating her efforts on the Curio, she's able to free Primordial from this curse. As such, he's then able to return as the noble protector of the kingdom, potentially keeping it safe for many generations to come. Story-wise, I don't see how Malzeno can make a return to the Monster Hunter franchise. If the Curio aren't present, I don't see how Malzeno could be. It's a shame in many senses, as he's such a well-designed monster with an incredibly intricate moveset. The moveset itself, however, does also tie very close to the nature of Monster Hunter Rise. If we fought these exact versions of Malzeno in World or Wilds, for example, I think we would have a bit of a tough time. But hey, maybe they'll find a way to reintroduce him in one of the
I would love
future
to see
portable
Malzeni
games.
again.
Let me know your thoughts on these monsters, and let me know in the comment section if I missed anything. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to like, comment and subscribe, as I plan to make even more lore videos, including for Monster Hunter Wilds.
We're gonna watch some more of these lore videos because I really love Monster Hunter, and even though there's not a lot of like depth to Monster Hunter lore in my eyes, I'm definitely somebody who have missed things in the past. If things aren't kind of laid out for me, sometimes they just don't like hit. So I'm gonna be watching more of these. I know that Monster Hunter is a very like niche content area, but I really do enjoy it. If you like Monster Hunter, if you like learning about shit like this, I guess like subscribe and peace. See you next time.